Hey YouTube, I'm gonna go over my current vehicle that I have on lease. It's the Lexus RX, and it's their full-sized SUV and their most popular selling vehicle. I think it accounts for the majority of Lexus sales in North America. But you can see in US they sell over 100,000 units of this car per year, which is quite a lot. And around 2014 to 2019, it's been pretty steady around 100,000. And similarly in Canada, they sell about 8 to 9,000 units of this car. So it's very popular. And I've leased the Lexus RX for actually 2 4-year leases. So the current version that I have is this one, actually the exact same color, and it has this trapezoid grille, which is pretty controversial. Either you really like it or you hate it. When I leased it back in 2016, 2017, this was a brand new generation and model. So the look was radically different from the car that I had before, which is actually the previous generation. And it looked like this. So I think with Lexus, they've always been known for their reliability and precision in the engineering to make it reliable. Like they don't take a lot of chances in terms of their engineering, design, and styling. So that was always the kind of a long-term criticism for the car. And when they went over to the new generation, the styling was radically different, and it was a brand new platform. So you can see on Wikipedia, you can see that their platform had changed from this styling to very radically different in the fourth generation. So now they're kind of in the middle of a refresh, and you can see that they have a facelift. And for this year, I'm looking at the 2021 model and seeing if I want to lease that again for another 3 to 4 years. But it doesn't seem very interesting to me because there hasn't been a lot of changes. It's basically just a refresh. So from the 2021 model, 2021 and 2020, there's basically the grille's been updated, and the infotainment is, I think, made bigger. But in my version in 2017, the infotainment is straight out of the 90s. Like it's really, really basic, really ghetto, and it definitely feels dated for a car that's only 3 to 4 years old. So that's a huge takeaway from the car, being it at a luxury level car. This type of technology kind of really isn't really acceptable in a car like this. So that's something that makes me feel like I want to try something new this year. And just to go over what I liked about the car, the pros for the last 4 years. It's been very reliable with no issues at all for the past 4 years. So I think it's held up to its reputation as being a reliable car. But if you're leasing it, maybe you don't really care too much about reliability. And it has a pretty high resale value, about 50% residual. And the driving of the car is, very comfortable. Like it's made to feel basically relaxed, and it's a great family hauler. In terms of the cons for the car, like it's basically what I said before. The infotainment is horrible, extremely dated for a car that's only 3 4 years old. I feel for the weight of the car, it's quite big, and for my family of four, it actually feels like it's too big. Unless you're constantly kind of hauling a lot of maybe materials, or like you're going skiing all the time, I feel like it is a little bit too big. That's why I'm looking at cars that are a little bit smaller this time, maybe the Porsche Cayenne or the Model Y, just to regain a little bit more of the feeling and the drivability. Because you feel very disconnected from the road, as many reviewers say, and it feels a little bit too big for the city and sometimes navigating around. So that's kind of my biggest cons for the car for the last 4 years. So I'll be looking to see what else is on the market right now, but I just want to find something a little bit more interesting that's around the 50 to 60K price. But I had no regrets with this car. It's been what I expected, with some minor kind of minor kind of like cons that I didn't really like. The infotainment being the main thing, and the handling and acceleration of the car being pretty heavy for what it is. But in terms of the financials, like it's pretty good value for what you get. So if you look at the payment calculator, I'd probably be looking to lease. So if I went to, say we're looking on the website right now and we go to a 48 month term, I think Lexus has a pretty good lease renewal program. So generally you could take off, you could get even a rate lower than this, maybe 1 to 2%, 1%. And for assuming a 20K lease, bring, monthly payments to about, 600 with 0% down, which is not a bad lease rate. So I'll be looking for and analyzing different cars in this price range going forward. So if you have any recommendations about different cars you'd like me to analyze or different topics, just hit subscribe and let me know feedback.